Hey y'all. As many of you remember, just a few weeks ago, the rapper T.I. Tip Harris was under fire because he basically came out and admitted that he um attends doctor's appointments, gynecologist appointments with his daughter, and they basically check for her virginity. Well, of course, there was a immediate firestorm that ensued. So much so to the point where New York City has now introduced legislation to make it illegal. You will have penalties for going to the doctor trying to evaluate your child's virginity. Let's take a look at this article. All right, so this is T.I. here, okay? So this is according to the Huffington Post. New York State legislators aim to ban purity exams after T.I.'s comments. New York State lawmakers introduced legislation this week that would ban doctors from performing or supervising virginity examinations or purity exams after rapper T.I. boasted that he accompanies his daughter to a gynecologist each year to ensure she is still a virgin. Doctors performing the exams typically check to see whether a female patient's hymen is intact, even though medical professionals do not consider it a reliable indicator of past sexual activity. As a memo attached to the legislation notes, there is also no medical or scientific definition of virginity. Rather, virginity is a social and religious construct. Y'all, at this point, you might as well say water is a social construct because it can be ice sometimes. Like, these people, I just don't get. I just don't understand. At this point, everything is a social construct. Social construct is actually another one of those terms I want to add to the list of words I'm completely fine with them doing away with come 2020. Okay, the New York Senate bill is sponsored by State Senator Roxanne Persaud, and its New York Assembly counterpart is sponsored by State Assemblywoman Michelle Salages and co-sponsored by Rick Godfrey. Blah, 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 all these people. Their legislation will subject doctors to penalties for professional misconduct, along with potential criminal sexual assault charges for performing or supervising the exams. T.I.'s disclosed his daughter checkups on a podcast taping with host Mandy and Nadia during a discussion on talking to kids about sex. Not only have we had the sex conversation, we have yearly trips to the gynecologist to check her hymen. He explained, this is what we do. Right after her birthday, we celebrate, usually like the day after the party. She's enjoying her gifts. I put a sticky note on the door. Gyno tomorrow at 9:30. So this just goes on to talk about this, y'all. I don't even know where to start. First of all, for this legislation to come so expeditiously, okay, only weeks after T.I.'s remarks proves to me that at this point, I never want to hear people say or talk about what type of legislation lawmakers cannot introduce, what they cannot, the legislation they cannot write. I don't want to hear it anymore because obviously at this point they can write any type of legislation. At this freaking point, they can write legislation to stop the Grinch from stealing Christmas. Like, and then we're literally talking New York City, okay? New York City. Don't get me wrong. I don't particularly agree with what T.I. um did, okay? And I certainly 100% don't agree with him putting his daughter's business out in the street. That's for sure. But nonetheless, this whole virginity check thing, this is not something that's like a social norm in America. Not to the point where you need legislators regulating this. Not even to mention, this is happening in New York City, where they have so many freaking laws on the books, but you can't even get a handle on your homeless population, to the point that you are busing them to other states. You are literally pushing your middle class out. Like, it's so much wrong with the laws and going on in New York City that at this point, I mean, I just really can't take these people seriously. I just really can't take these people seriously. And it's funny to me that at this point, it's like, I think a lot of these lawmakers have some type of savior complex, because for some reason they actually think that these laws are going to change and fix everything. But we've seen, you can literally look at the freaking prison population and all the crime that is happening, particularly in New York, and see that that's just not the case. So this blanket law, I don't know. I say less laws, but those are just my thoughts. Leave your thoughts below. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.